بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآل الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم أكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن عفوك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Chapter 3 of 12th section is a very good chapter and has lots of useful ideas. The title is this: في أن الواجب تعالى هو المبدأ المفيض لكل وجود وكمال وجودي. Chapter 3 is on the fact that wajib al-wujud, necessary being, is the origin, al-mufiz, the originator, the one that does ifada, means gives every being and every existential perfection comes from him. Basically, there is nothing in this world unless comes from him. But anything which comes from him is also a matter of goodness, perfection, yeah? There is no other source which brings good, or even no other source which brings bad. Inshallah, we talk that even we don't have this dualism that God for bringing good things, and then, for example, there is something opposite which brings bad things. You remember in divine justice, we had this idea. So, كل موجود غيره تعالى ممكن بالذات. Anything that exists, any being other than Allah is what? Contingent. ممكن بالذات means contingent. It's by itself possible to exist, possible not to exist. We call it contingent. Because we don't have any other wajib al-wujud. لانحصار الوجوب بالذات فيه تعالى. Because wajib al-bizat is only exclusive to him. Okay? ممتنع الوجود cannot exist. Wajib al-wujud is only him. So anything else is ممكن الوجود. وكل ممكن فإن له ماهية هي التي تستوي نسبتها إلى الوجود والعدم. Every contingent has a quiddity whose relation with existence and non-existence is the same. وهي التي تحتاج في وجودها إلى علة بها يجب وجودها فتوجد. And this is what needs in its existence a cause because of which its existence becomes necessary, and then it comes to existence. Yeah? Mahiyat. You remember we said al-mahiyatu amkanat fahtajat fa'ujibat fa'wajabat fa'ujidat fa'wujidat. So that illah does ijab, makes it necessary, and then brings it into existence. Wal-illatu, that cause. إن كانت واجبة بالذات, if that is واجب الوجود بالذات فهو. Okay, that's what we wanted. وإن كانت واجبة بالغير, if that cause exists because of something else, finally انتهى ذلك إلى الواجب بالذات. It should end with واجب الوجود بالذات. فالواجب بالذات هو الذي يفيض عنه كل وجود كل ذي وجود. So necessary being by itself is the one from which existence of every being comes. Can we say emanates? Emanates, we can say? Okay. من الماهيات, anything else which has existence from mahiyat, because they are mumkin, their existence comes from wajib al-wujud bizat emanates or originates from that. This is not new, this is clear. Just the emphasis is that there is no other origin, no other source, no other master. Yeah? Everything comes from wajib al-wujud. Ya man arjuhu li kulli khair. Everything good comes from him. وَمِن طَرِيقٍ أُخْرى. We can argue from a different path. ما سواه تعالى من الوجودات الإمكانية فقراء في أنفسها. Anything other than God, which means what? No, other than God, anything else is wujudat imkani, all the contingent beings. فقراء في أنفسها. In themselves, they are poor. If they have anything, it's borrowed. Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. Whatever you have is borrowed, is deposited by God. You don't have anything. Okay? متعلقات في حدود ذواتها. In the boundaries of their essence, they are all belonging to wajib al-wujud. Means they have nothing to fill their vessel, their container. فَهِيَ وُجُودَاتٌ رَابِطَةٌ. All the mumkinat are wujudatun rabita. You remember we talked about mumkinat being just connection, link. لا استقلال لها. They have no independence. حدوثاً at the beginning, ولا بقاءً in continuity. Because we said mumkin al-wujud needs cause at the beginning, and also this continues. We shouldn't think that only at the beginning we need something to bring us to existence, then we remain here. Like you bring a child to a room and the child remains in the room. No. If God brings us to existence, He keeps also giving us existence. Otherwise we will finish. Okay? And this is why philosophers say illa is needed huduthan and baqa'an. وَإِنَّمَا تَتَقَوَّمُ بِغَيْرِهَا. These wujudat, they are dependent on other than themselves, something else. وَيَنْتَهِ ذَلِكَ. And this continues till ends with what? وُجُودًا مُسْتَقِلًا فِي نَفْسِهِ. To a being which is independent, غَنِيًّا فِي ذَاتِهِ, rich in its essence, لا تعلق له بشيء تعلق الفقر والحاجة. Thank you very much. أحسن. Doesn't belong to anything as a matter of poverty and need. Yeah, wajib al-wujud has connection to its effects, but by giving, not by receiving. There is no belonging in the sense of poverty. Yeah. Like, for example, you say there is a rich, generous person who has 10 families who belong to him. But this belonging is not a matter of poverty of the rich person. It's a matter of supporting. But those poor, they belong, means they are under his care. So, لا تعلق بشيء لا تعلق له بشيء. واجب الوجود doesn't have any belonging to anything. What kind of belonging? تعلق الفقر والحاجة. Belonging of poverty and need. Doesn't have such belonging. وهو الواجب الوجود تعالى وتقدس. And that is واجب الوجود, the Almighty. فتبين. So from this it became clear أن الواجب الوجود تعالى هو المفيض لوجود ما سواه. This huwa shows exclusiveness. Wajib al-wujud is the only mufid, the only one that gives and grants and originates. Gives wujud to ma siwa, to anything else. So the only provider of existence, the only one that grants existence is wajib al-wujud. And please remember, when we say it gives existence, because some people think, okay, God gives us our existence, but maybe we get other things from other sources. Yeah, for example, I get knowledge from my teacher, I get rizq from my boss, for example, a company. No. Everything is a matter of wujud. So when your wujud comes from something, everything else comes from him. There is nothing else. Okay? Whatever you are and you have all come from the cause and finally from God. كما أنه مفيض له, in the same way that wajibul wujud grants wujud, also مفيض لآثار الوجود القائمة به, also grants all the effects of wujud which depend on wujud. والنسب والروابط التي بينه, and also all the relations. Like, for example, imagine in your mind a father who is holding hand of his child and is walking on the street. Everything is your creation. The child, the father, the relation, hand, walking, who is on the right, who is on the left, all of them come from you. It's not that just you imagine the father and the child, everything else is done by them. Okay? فإن العلة الموجبة للشيء المقومة لوجوده علة موجبة لآثاره والنسب القائمة به. The cause which necessitates something, which gives existence to it, is the cause that also necessitates its effect. So موجبة لوجوده وموجبة لآثاره, and all the relations that belong to it. ومقومة لها, and also gives subsistence to those آثار. فهو تعالى. See how much philosophy helps us in understanding theology. فهو تعالى وحده المبدأ الموجد لما سواه. So Allah alone is the source that gives existence to anything other than Him. Al-Maliku lahu. Now, from a philosophical perspective, you better understand the meaning of ownership. His ownership is not like our ownership. I own a car, but this is not a real ownership. Yeah, the car can exist without me. Someone can steal the car. But if something was really owned by me, then no one can steal it from me. It cannot exist without me. When we say Allah is Malik, it's different from our ownership. He is really owner, means it cannot survive without Him. And therefore, Al-Mudabbiru li-amrih, He is managing that, because no one can manage something that is owned by something else. Can I manage something which is in your mind? I cannot. If there is a person who is walking in your mind, I cannot give him a lift. Yes? فَهُوَ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ لَا رَبَّ سِوَاهُ. He is the Lord of Alameen, the world, or intelligent inhabitants of the world. لَا رَبَّ سِوَاهُ. There is no Lord other than Him. So a philosopher very well understands this. And a true philosopher Means someone who acts upon what he knows, then would not be flattering people, would not be afraid of people, yeah, would not be after fame or reputation, yeah, if it's a true philosopher. Tatemmatun. Now we have a kind of conclusion or a kind of final point, remarks. This is very good for the discussion about divine justice that we had, about existence of bad things in the world. قالت الثانوية. Thanawiya are those people who believe that there are two sources. God is the source of good things, and Ahriman, the devil, for example, is the source for bad things. إن في الوجود خيرا وشرا. They say in existence there are good and bad things. وهما متضادان, and these are opposite. لا يستندان إلى مبدأ واحد. They don't connect, or they don't come from the same source. فهناك مبدأان. There must be two sources. مبدأ الخيرات ومبدأ الشرور. There must be a source for good things and a source for bad things. Plato rejects this idea. Plato says wujud is always good. Shar, evil, is negational. And Aflatun fi daf'ihi anna sharra adamun. Aflatun says shar is adam. Means shar is not existing. Wal adamu la yahtaju ila illatin fayyada. Because shar doesn't exist, so doesn't need a cause that grants existence to it. So don't look for a source for shar. Don't look for a creator or originator for shar. Bal illatuhu adamul wujud. The cause of shar is what? Absence of existence. Because we said illatul adam, adamu illatul wujud. Yeah? Adamul illa, illatun lil adam. If you don't have, for example, reason for health, there is illness. If you don't have money, there is poverty. But poverty is not created. Yeah? وَقَدْ بُيِّنَ السُّقْرَى بِأَمْثِلَةٍ جُزْئِيَّةٍ. And this minor premise has been explained with particular examples. They try to explain why shar is adami. Okay? Why shar is adami. For example, al-qatl, murder, is bad. But what is bad here? Is it the power of the murderer which is bad? No, the power is not bad. But the death which is caused is bad. But the fact that this person has power is not bad. فَإِنَّ الشَّرَّ لَيْسَ هُوَ قُدْرَةَ الْقَاتِلِ عَلَيْهِ. What is bad is not the power of the killer for overkilling. The power is not bad. فَإِنَّهُ كَمَالٌ لَهُ. This is actually a perfection. He's misusing this power, but the power is not bad. Or, for example, you have sword, because this killer is using a sword, and this sword is very sharp. Is sharpness of sword a bad thing? No. وَلَا حِدَّةُ السَّيْفِ. Hidda means sharpness. Sharpness of sword. وَصَلَاحِيَّتِهِ لِلْقَاتِ. The quality that it can cut. فَإِنَّهُ كَمَالٌ فِيهِ. This is also perfection of the sword. Okay. Then the neck of the murdered is soft. is softer than the sword. Is this bad? If our neck was like metal, then it could not bend, it could not, So this is not also bad, that our skin and tissues are soft. This is not also bad. وَلَا انْفِعَالُ رَقَبَةِ الْمَقْتُولِ مِنَ الضَّرْبَةِ. The fact that the neck of the one who is killed is affected by a strike of sword, this is not also bad. That we are created in the way that our tissues are soft. This is not bad. فَإِنَّهُ مِنْ كَمَالِ الْبَدَنِ. This is perfection of our body. So what is bad then? The power of the killer is not bad. The sharpness of the sword is not bad. The softness of our tissue is not bad. فَلَا يَبْغَى لِلشَّرِّ إِلَّا بُطْلَانُ حَيَاةِ الْمَقْتُولِ بِالظَّالِمِ. So nothing remains to be bad except that the life of the victim is finished. So finishing is adami. وَهُوَ أَمْرٌ عَدَمِي. Okay, so health is injury means not health. Okay, so what is bad is relational, is relative, and means something good has stopped. Aristotle, as some Arabs say Aristoteles, or in English we say Aristotle. In Farsi we say Arastu. Arastu says there are 5 possibilities. He says, "Innal aqsama khamsa." It doesn't mean these 5 exist. It means that 5 possibilities. To be absolutely good, to be absolutely bad, to be equally good and bad, to be more good or to be more bad. Yeah? Can you think of another option? There can be no 6th option, yeah? Because it's either 100% good, 100% bad, 50-50, or more leaning towards good or more leaning towards bad. There are 5 possibilities. Okay? أن الأقسام 5 ما هو خير محض وما خيره كثير وشره قليل وما خيره وشره متساويان وما شره كثير وخيره قليل وما هو شر محض. What is only good, what its goodness is more and its badness is less, what its goodness and badness are equal, what its badness is more and goodness is little, what is absolutely bad. So there are 5 types. أول الأقسام, the one which is absolutely is good, موجود, it exists. We have things which are absolutely good. كالعقول المجردة. Those immaterial uqul. Not aql for human beings. We mean uqul ashara, for example. Okay, one of the johar is uqul. They are absolutely good. They have no problem. ليس فيها إلا الخير. وكذا القسم الثاني. What was القسم الثاني? Goodness overweighs badness. كسائر الموجودات. Other beings which are material. Because uqul are immaterial. But other beings which are material, there is lots of good in them when you look at the whole system. بالنظر إلى النظام العام. When you look at the general system of the world. فإن في ترك إيجاده شرا كثيرا. If this was not created, there was more badness. Okay? So we see lots of good things. According to Aristotle, these 2 are there. completely good or more good. But equally good and bad doesn't exist. أما ما خيره وشره متساويان فإن في إيجاده ترجيحا بلا مرجح. God does not create something when goodness and badness are equal. Because why then he should prefer existence of this to non-existence? If you are a wise person, you don't do something that doing and not doing are the same. أما ما شره كثير وغيره قليل. This is worse. If you do something that its badness is more, this is not preferring without preference. This is preferring what is preferred over. Yeah. So you are preferring what is not better to what is better. فإن في إيجاده ترجيح المرجوح على الراجح. So if something is 40% good, 60% bad, if I create this, means I am preferring less preferable to what is preferable. You don't do something which is less preferable. وَأَمَّا مَا هُوَ شَرٌ مَحْزُونٌ. What is completely evil and vicious and bad, this is also clear that should not be created. أَمْرُهُ واضح. So, in general, if you want to summarize it, بالجملة لم يستند بالذات إلى العلة إلا الخير المحض والخير الكثير. What is essentially attributed to the cause is not other than two things. What illa can create: absolute goodness or khayr kathir means abundant goodness, something with goodness prevails. Amma sharrul qalil, but the little badness that we have along with the second option. When you have khayr kathir, you have little badness. This little badness فقد استند إليها بعرض الخير الكثير الذي يلزمه. The cause had not primarily wanted this bad side, but because wanted something which is 60-70% good, this is the cost. So the cause wanted this because of wanting something which is preferably good. You know, like for example, I come to here, I teach you 2 hours philosophy, I make you tired. But did I want to make you tired? Yes and no. I didn't want to make you tired primarily, but I wanted to teach you philosophy, and because of that, I had to make you tired. If I had just made you tired, it was not good. But I have tried to teach you philosophy, which was better than accepting this tiredness. But if I just come here and do nothing except tiring you, this is not good. You understand? So I somehow made you tired and wanted that. I was aware of that. But that was something which I wanted not primarily. I wanted secondarily because I wanted something greater. And that is to teach you philosophy. Okay? So, alhamdulillah, this also finished. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.